No, the question for me is, what are these crews?
It was just simply aircraft noise, and a large number of suburbs so affected at Sydney. I myself was flying out of Richmond at the time, and I can remember when the curfew came in.
I hope the Tom doesn't mind and the meeting doesn't mind, but I'm one of the people who put in a submission. Remember writing it, in January, and doing other things. But I'm really interested in what the process is now. We put in submissions, lots of people here, to a draft master plan. Do we now have a completed master plan? How do we know how you responded to our submissions? Has something now gone in to the Minister, which is what I believe the process was all about, and what went into the Minister?
Okay. People, are you okay if I address the on that? What Deb's asking, we have an existing master plan, which is this document here, 2005 master plan, which has already been approved. We went out to public consultation on a revised master plan, and that master plan had a number of small revisions in it. It's essentially the same as the existing master plan. Certainly this existing master plan's got things like, a lot of things we discussed today already approved, like a freight hub and Sydney Second Airport discussion, that's already in that master plan. But people made comments on this master plan. We are looking at those comments now. We then collect those comments and we make any changes to the master plan. There were some really good comments which we did receive, and we've had regard to we've had regard to everything in that, but a lot of those comments we actually have made changes to the master plan. We're still working through that sort of process. When that gets through, we submit it to the Minister. It goes to the Minister, and we submit not only this master plan, but we also submit a copy of every single submission on that master plan during the consultation phase, and then the Minister decides whether that's appropriate to approve or not.
You've got a timeline for that?
No.
Well, when would you expect to be submitting your master plan to the Minister?
This year?
This year?
I genuinely don't know.
A thing of interest to me was, I think Frank mentioned, a plan for dual runways. Did I hear a plan?
No, I didn't mention it, but I understand it's part of the
parallel runways. Would that quadruple the traffic? I presume there's more than double the efficiency of the airport having quadruple, having double runways. It's got potential to quadruple your traffic volumes.
Do you want to?
Is the question of me? I'm happy to answer it. I'm happy to. I'm not here to take over the meeting,
No.
so I'm quite conscious of that.
Have you ever considered buying Lake George and putting your freight up there?
Do you want to answer the question about the dual runway?
Okay, yeah, sure. There was a proposal there for a parallel runway. The parallel runway would need to be about 1,000 metres or more from the current runway. That's so that you can separate both runways and the aircraft can come down concurrently down to both runways. So there's a requirement to separate them by that sort of distance to make it safe for aviation. I'm not sure that will work because I used to be in an Air Force as well. I'm an aviator by trade, and the Majura firing ranges over there are used for training of not only the ADFA cadets but Duntroon cadets. And when the new facility is built out at Bungendore, when the people have to keep current on range practices and things like that. So I suspect that Defence will probably need to use that training area far more than they do concurrently, and I can certainly tell you how often they fire because I hear it every time living in Mackenzie Street. And the peacekeeping training facility. It's just which one do you think it is, as well as the rifle range, which has its practice every Wednesday afternoon and night, and equally then fires on the weekend. So, man, I'm an old digger from out of Vietnam, and I reckon I get Vietnam revisited through the week several times.
So a runway, an extra runway would require an expansion of the present airport boundaries, presumably to the east.
presumably to the east, I would think would be the only way it would work, because engineering wise, if you went west, you've got the creek and then you've got the whole of the road structure having to be realigned. So east is the only way it looks practical to me.
And would we as the taxpayer pay for that? Because we paid for the runway upgrade.
We didn't pay for all of the runway upgrade, but certainly we paid for more than half, I guess, more than half of it, because I think it cost Capital Airport Group, the runway lengthening and strengthening cost them about 50 million, and I understand the Commonwealth Government put in 28.5, and before that it had put in 8.5 to put shoulders on the runway. So about 37 of the just under 60 that's been spent out there on the runway, as far as I can determine, 37 of it would have been federal.
Once you build a runway, you have a necessity to have a very large volume of traffic to justify it.
All right. Three more questions. Did you want
I'm
to?
happy to answer if you want me
Did
to.
you want
as
to
well.
add something there, Tom?
I don't mind here.
Yeah. I mean, in essence, the question of the power of runway is one day it is likely that Canberra Airport will run out of capacity. I don't know when that is. It could be 40 years, it could be 60 years, it could be 100 years. I'm not making any sort of judgment on that. What the master plan says, and there's a statutory requirement. This master plan is basically a 20-year document, subject to some certain things in the Act. Certainly within the next 20 years, we're not contemplating an additional runway, but what it does say, within that time frame of 20 years, we will need to plan for it, and the community will need to go through the debate of whether that's an appropriate sort of thing. So it just flags that. It's one paragraph in the whole document. As far as your other questions about how it would happen, where it would be, and all those sorts of things, I think that really is a matter for a discussion at the time once people start thinking seriously about it. Jim is probably right in saying it would probably be to the east. That's probably what we think, but it's not. By all means, it's a discussion for another day. It's just flagging the question.
Okay. So Alan, and then Jochen, and then Petri has a question.
Thanks. Just a double barrel or to Frank on a couple of airport issues. One is with regard to the noise abatement area. At the last Community Noise Consultative Forum meeting, Air Services Australia said that they wouldn't support a change to the boundaries of the noise abatement area, which currently excludes areas just on the northern part of Watson and large areas of Gungahlin suburbs yet to be developed, and some that have already been developed. How do you feel about the movement of that line, given that Air Services Australia conceded that changing the line would have no operational impact on jet services because they currently climb to 7,000 feet before turning left? And the other is with regard to the process of the master plans that Tom's already spoken about, and this isn't looking specifically at Canberra's master plan, but master plans for airports in general. And if you're in the government, our territory government, your ability to lobby the federal government would be important to us. We currently have processes where proponents conduct the entire process.
Yes.
They run the consultation process, they write the draft master plan, they publicise the draft master plan, they receive all of the submissions, they assess the submissions, and they prepare any mitigating recommendations and then submit it all off to the federal government. Now, irrespective of who the proponent is, it'd be pretty hard when it's your business on the line, I would think, to be entirely objective about the assessment of that process. So it seems to me that that nexus needs to be broken. The master plan consultation has to be done by an independent body.
Couldn't agree more. That's almost identical to the process that currently applies to allowing a developer that's got an application before council to carry out his or her own assessment of that application and giving himself the power to recommend